What it is, YouTube? It's your boy Troy, and I know hoops. Did not tell y'all I was going to do a double upload. Did not tell y'all I was going to do a double upload. I kind of owed that to y'all because episode 3, I said I was double uploading. I was uploading the next day. That's on me. But I had to double upload today. I had to because we're going to talk about we're going to talk about something. And I'm not going to lie. The NBA is not fighting the rigged allegations, man. Not even gonna hold you, bro. So we're gonna jump right into it, bro. This is your 2025 draft. This is your 2025 NBA draft. I'm not gonna lie to you. Shout out Nico Harrison. Shout out Nico Harrison. 2 months ago, this man was getting death threats. Okay, this man was getting death threats. This man was getting ridiculed. The Dallas Mavericks security at the arena had to kick out fans for saying fire Nico Harrison because they traded Luka Doncic. And now they have the number 1 pick. Bro, like I said, the NBA is not fighting the rigged allegations, bro, because this is ridiculous. I'm going to go from 14 all the way to 1. You know what I'm saying? If y'all busy right now, y'all can't look at the screen, but y'all listening to it, it's cool. I got y'all. So, number 14 is the Spurs. Number 13 is the Hawks. Number 12, the Chicago Bulls. You know, I actually thought the Bulls were going to have a chance of getting a top 10, maybe top 7 pick. But I guess they just won too many games. But apparently winning too many games isn't an indicator that you're not going to have a high pick anymore, apparently, because I'm going to get into that a little later. So, number 11, the Portland Trail Blazers. Number 10, Houston Rockets. Houston Rockets won about 52 games, and they have the 10th pick. I think this was a swap with somebody. I think this was somebody else's pick. I'm not too sure. But, yeah, they have the 10th pick. Shout out to Houston. Number 9, Toronto Raptors. Number 8, the Brooklyn Nets. Number 7, the New Orleans Pelicans. For context, the Pelicans had 21 wins. They lost 61 games, and they have the 7th pick. It gets even worse after this. The Utah Jazz. No. I skipped somebody. This is worse, by the way, actually. The Washington Wizards have the 6th pick. The Wizards were 18-64. The Wizards won 18 games. They had the worst record in the East, but they only have the 6th pick. Number 5, the Utah Jazz. They had 17 wins. They went 17-65. Last place in the Western Conference. They had the 5th pick. Number 4, Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets had 19 wins. They went 19-63. They only have the 4th pick. The Philadelphia 76ers get the 3rd pick. Congratulations to Philly. Because I told y'all in another video, they had top 6 unprotected. If it was going 7th, anything under 7, that shit was going right to the Thunder. But they ended up getting the 3rd pick, which is crazy. Philadelphia finished 24-58. The number 2 overall pick belongs to the San Antonio Spurs, who, mind you, they have Victor Wembanyama. They have the 2025 Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle. And they had the 2nd pick. They actually have the 14th pick as well. They have 14-2. They won, how many, bro? The Spurs won 34 games. The Spurs won 34 games, and they're only going to get better with this 2nd and 14th pick. But what's crazy is the Dallas Mavericks have the 1st pick. They won 39 games, and they were in the play-in. That's 2 top 2 teams that had 30 wins, having the top 2 picks in the draft. Teams that didn't even get 20 wins had the 4th, 5th, and 6th pick. I'm sorry, but they got to change something about about this draft lottery, bro. They gotta change something, bro. Because that's bull. I'm gonna keep it a bean. If I'm DC, if I'm Utah, if I'm Charlotte, I am burning the city down. I am so serious. I'm so serious. How do you expect these teams to get better? Mind you, this could probably be a punishment by the NBA. Yo, if you tanking, I'm not gonna lie, you ain't getting shit. That's basically what the NBA is saying. If you're a team and you're tanking on purpose, you're not getting anything. Keep it a bean. And it's crazy because the Wizards were just genuinely horrible. They were bad. They were terrible. They played their players. They were absolute terribly. They were terrible. But yet they still only get the 6th pick. The Jazz. I didn't even pay attention to the Jazz for real. But I'm pretty sure they weren't tanking. They were signing niggas off the street. They were signing people off the street, bro. And they only get the 5th pick. The Hornets, the worst franchise in the NBA, I'm convinced. They had injuries. They had to keep playing people that were bad, that didn't even belong in an NBA lineup. Only have the 4th pick. How is it that the San Antonio Spurs, who had Victor Wembanyama, the number 1 pick, they had they just got Rookie of the Year, Stephon Castle, I forgot what pick he was, and they already have a top 2 pick. And then you have the Dallas Mavericks, who won damn near 40 games. They were in the play-in tournament. They just traded away Luka Doncic. They just traded away Luka, and they're getting rewarded with the 1st pick. How does that happen? How does that happen? How? How does that happen? Crazy work. Crazy work, man. So, one thing I do want to address, obviously Cooper Flag is going number 1, right? I feel like these top 3 teams, the Mavericks, Spurs, Sixers, have a good chance of trading their pick. Now, it just came out that the Mavericks aren't trading their number 1 overall pick. They're getting Cooper Flag. So they're surrounding Cooper Flag with Kyrie Irving, Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford, a well-established town in Dallas. But I'm going to keep it a bean. I think they're trading the pick. It would be stupid if they do trade the pick. I think it would be very stupid if they trade the pick. But they've made stupid trades. So it wouldn't be crazy for somebody to think, oh, yeah, they're going to trade this number 1 pick. I don't think it's crazy to say that. Even though they just came out and said that they're not trading the pick. But a crazy interesting thing, right? So I was watching Kenny Beecham. He said that essentially the Bulls and the Mavericks had the same percentage of getting the number overall pick. I think it was 1.7. They both had 1.7. And the way he explained it, I think the NBA did like a coin toss. Mavericks won the coin toss, and they went from 1.7 to 1.8. Mind you, those 1.7, 1.8, those were the lowest odds to get the number 1 overall pick. And Kenny Beecham deadass thinks that because of that, the Bulls just missed out on Cooper Flag. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think he's wrong. The Bulls absolutely deserved a top pick. Top 7 for real. The Pelicans, they just keep getting screwed. The franchise is cursed. I'm going to keep it being because what are they supposed to do with the 7th pick? What are they going to do with this shit? Nothing. The Pelicans get nothing out of having a 7th overall pick. The Wizards get nothing. They just had the 2nd pick last year. And you want to know what's crazy? This isn't even the first time some shit like this happened. Last year, the Atlanta Hawks jumped 9 spots and got the number 1 overall pick. You know what I mean? So it's crazy work. It's crazy business. But I'm going to keep it a bean. You can't convince me that the NBA isn't rigged. I'm going to be honest with you. How do you trade Luka Doncic and then you get the number 1 overall pick out of nowhere? And mind you, you had damn near 40 wins. How do you get 39 wins, make the play-in tournament, and then you just all of a sudden have the number 1 pick? That's crazy to me. Nico Harrison doing backflips, though. I'm not going to lie. Nico Harrison is one happy man. It was still a dumbass decision to get rid of Luka, though. But, I mean, shit. I guess he knew something we didn't know. I mean, but one thing I do want to address and one thing I do want to talk about here is how the San Antonio Spurs suddenly got the 2nd and 14th pick. Mind you, they were in rumors to trade. They were in heavy trade rumors. They've been rumored to trade for KD since, like, I want to say March. They've been rumored to trade for Giannis since about April, when Giannis literally just got eliminated from the playoffs. Could you imagine if you're the Bucks, the Spurs hit you up and say, yo, Bucks, I'll give you the number 2 overall pick, maybe the number 14th pick, Devin Vassell, and maybe Keldon Johnson. You just got to give me Giannis. Do you say no? Do you say no if you're the Bucks? I'm gonna keep it a bean. I say yes. But then you're the Spurs. You putting De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama with Giannis. That's 40 wins by itself. You just gotta sign people. You just gotta get players to come to San Antonio, get some role players, get some 3-and-D players. You cool. You cool for the next 5 years if you do this. You're absolutely cool. And then if you're the Bucks, you get the number 2 overall pick. You get 14. You cool. You chilling. You're absolutely chilling. Then you just get players off of a Dame trade or a Bobby Portis trade, and you're absolutely chilling. You are cool. If you're the Houston Rockets, you got the 10th pick. You were rumored to get KD or Devin Booker. Could you imagine you go to the Phoenix Suns and say, yo, bro, I'll give you the number 10 overall pick, Jabari Smith and Fred VanVleet or Dylan Brooks. All you got to do is give me Kevin Durant. The Suns probably say no. I'm going to keep it a B. The Suns probably say no, but that's an all right package to throw at somebody. You feel me? Now, when I found out that the Dallas Mavericks got number 1 overall pick, because I was asleep. I woke up around like 7:35, like right after the draft lottery was complete or whatever. I go on Twitter. I immediately go on Twitter because I'm like, damn, I missed the draft lottery. I see Nico Harris. Nico Harrison's name was the first thing I saw on Twitter. I was like, no fucking way they got the first pick or a top 5 pick. No fucking way. These niggas ended up getting the first pick. That's insane to me. That's incredibly insane. I'm not gonna lie. That's like so now if you're Dallas, right? I'm gonna keep it a beam. I was thinking to myself, damn, they could trade for KD. They could trade for Giannis. I'm not gonna lie. If I'm Dallas, I'm not trading the pick. I'm keeping the pick. I'm drafting Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag's going to learn under AD, and he's going to play with Kyrie Irving and AD. If you're Dallas, this is a win. Cooper Flag is the most polished player in the draft. Very good defensively. Very polished offensive game. He's the best all-around player in this draft. You know what I'm saying? So this is a complete win for Dallas. It's not gonna mean shit because you got rid of Luka Doncic, and that's still gonna be a stain in your franchise history. But you somewhat make it up to your fans for getting the number 1 overall pick. So that's a W in my book. The Sixers is very interesting because I didn't think they were actually going to land a top 3 pick. I thought it was going to be in top 5 for sure. I thought they were going to get number 5 or 4, but getting a top 3 pick is very good for the Sixers because you're also in that realm of like, all right, bet we can draft somebody, but I don't think they can really. I don't think they unless it's Ace Bailey. I don't really know who you draft if you're the Sixers. I'm not going to lie, because the Spurs definitely trade this number 2 overall pick. If the Spurs do keep the pick, they're definitely going to get Ace Bailey. They're not going to draft Dylan Harper. And then if you're the Sixers and Ace Bailey isn't available, you're not going to draft Dylan Harper. You have enough guards. You have fucking Jared McCain, Kyle Lowry still there, Tyrese Maxey. Like it's no point in getting the guard. You need a forward. You don't get VJ Edgecombe because he's a shooting guard. He's 6'5". You don't need another guard, like I said. You don't draft Con Knipple at number 3. Con Knipple's like a top 7 guy, like 5 to 7 range. So you leave him for everybody else. But unless you trade down and get the 5th pick, you know what I'm saying? You give the 5th pick to like the Wizards or the Pelicans who need a guard, but the Pelicans also need a center. So if I'm the Pelicans, I'm keeping my number 7th pick. I'm drafting either Derek Queen or the boy from Duke, the big center from Duke. I think Derek Queen honestly goes to the Wizards because Derek Queen went to Maryland. It's a DC, Washington Wizards. You know what I'm saying? Like a little DMV connection. I think Derek Queen goes to the Wizards, but yeah, man. Honestly, bro, the draft lottery is insane, bro. They need to change something about this. I'm not gonna lie. They have to change something about this because this is utterly crazy. Oh wow. Wow. Okay. Just saw Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. So Celtics lose, essentially. But back to the draft lottery. If I'm the Spurs, I'm 100% trading the top 2 pick and number 14 to try to get Giannis. I don't think I'm going to trade a number 2 pick to get Kevin Durant. I don't think a 37, 38-year-old Kevin Durant is the answer to your problems unless you're already an established team who's ready to finally make that playoff push like the Rockets. But I don't think the Rockets trade number 10. I don't think the Suns agree to a number 10 for Kevin Durant. or even Devin Booker. So I don't really know what happens with that. The Hawks get another steal at number 13. Um, if I'm the Hawks, I don't really know what I do with that pick. I definitely draft somebody, but I don't really know who to draft. For real. The Bulls is very interesting though. I was certain that the Bulls were going to get like a top 7 pick, bro. This is honestly nuts. If anybody deserves a top pick, it's the Bulls for real. If anybody really deserved Cooper Flag, it honestly should have been the Wizards. It's crazy to me that the Mavericks get this number 1 pick though. That's crazy as fuck to me. I'm not gonna hold you. But yeah, bro. Draft lottery's crazy, man. I can't believe it. Like I'm still looking at this and like I really can't believe. Shout out to the Sixers for getting that number 3 pick. I really want to know what they do with that. I really want to know what they do with that pick. Can I tell you something crazy I've been seeing on Twitter? So I've been seeing somebody put out a crazy. I think Jay Williams said something about the Sixers potentially trading Tyrese Maxey and the number 3 pick to the Mavericks for the number 1 pick to get Cooper Flag. I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? Why are you trading Maxey? And then people were talking about, bro, in the comments. I didn't like the trade. Like that trade's stupid. But people talk about some Cooper Flag getting traded, like because somebody also said KD gets traded to the Mavericks for the number 1 pick. The Phoenix Suns offer KD or Devin Booker for the number 1 pick to the Mavericks, and somebody says in the comments, "Oh, that's crazy. Cooper Flag is better than Tyrese Maxey and Devin Booker." Whoa. Whoa. I'm more so kept seeing the Cooper Flag's better than Maxey shit, and like people saying Tyrese Maxey, what polar bear in Arlington, Texas. Yep, bro. Let's chill the fuck out. All right, let's calm the hell down. Let's calm down. Saying Cooper Flag is better than Tyrese Maxey. Calm down. Calm the fuck down. All right, he's good. Is he dropping 50 in Madison Square Garden on Game 5 when the series on the line? No, not yet. But no, let's relax. Jesus. But yeah, man. The Dallas Mavericks put out a statement and said that they're actually not trading number 1 overall pick. They're actually keeping that number 1 overall pick. What would be hilarious is that they don't even get Cooper Flag. They draft Dylan Harper. I think that would be hilarious. I wouldn't be surprised if they do that. It'd be crazy as fuck, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do that considering what they did. But no, man. I just wanted to sit here and rap about the draft lottery, bro, because this was crazy to me. This is absolutely crazy to me. To address some other picks, the Charlotte Hornets, bro. The franchise is never going to get better, and this is what's kind of wrong with the draft lottery. It's like it doesn't really allow like ass teams to really get better. Like the Wizards getting the number 2 pick and getting Alexander Sarr. I'm not really a fan of that draft class anyway, so like that was kind of terrible for them. The Jazz not really getting awarded for constantly being ass is kind of concerning. It's like, damn, when are they going to get a number 1 pick? God damn, you know what I mean? But the Wizards, I kind of feel bad for the most because I actually thought the Bulls and like the Blazers had like the best team to really surround Cooper Flag in terms of like how they kind of have a roster, but they're not exactly good enough to compete. But they do need like one guy to really get them in that play-in range. You feel what I'm saying? Like to be somewhat watchable. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of sucks for them. The Raptors don't really care about the Raptors. Nets, I mean, they're going to pick whoever's the best player available. Same with the Raptors. They're going to pick who the best player available is. The Raptors kind of have a better option of like building something though because they do have Scotty Barnes, they do have Brandon Ingram, they have Jakob Poeltl, like Emmanuel Quickly. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a solid team to build anything around. It would have been crazy for Cooper Flag to be drafted number 1 overall to the Raptors because now he has a whole country by his side. That would have been some crazy aura. I'm not going to lie. That would have been crazy. But it is what it is, man. Pelicans, like I said, continue to be cursed. That's crazy as fuck that they only got the 7th pick and they only won 21 games. For real, it's only Trey Murphy and Zion. So, like, you know, I forgot DeJounte Murray was even on the team. He was hurt for the rest of the year with a broken, like, hand or something. Something happened with him. But, yeah, man, I just wanted to sit here and talk about the draft lottery, man. Draft lottery is crazy. The Nico Harrison situation only proves that you're never wrong just early. He was still wrong for that. I'm going to keep it a bean. He was very much still wrong for that. But It is what it is, man. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this video up, man. Thank y'all so much for, still I didn't even get to thank y'all enough because I usually thank y'all every episode. But last episode I didn't. Thank y'all so much for constantly viewing my videos. Thank you so much for new subscribers, the likes on the videos. It really means a lot to me, man. It really does, man. That I get to push this out and kind of, you know, do this on my own and kind of like have my own wave of a YouTube channel, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate y'all. Really thank y'all, man. I can't thank y'all enough for the support and everything that y'all been doing for me so far. And like I said, I'm gonna be more consistent. Double upload, as y'all see. I'm being consistent. I'm staying true to my word. It took me a little minute, but I'm staying true to my word, man. Staying true to it. But that's gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate y'all. I'm out.